Ali Sheedy plays the main character's mom, which is amazing. Quick review: single drunk female. It's a television show about a 20-something-year-old woman who worked in New York for a website that publishes, articles about lifestyle-related things. And she shows up drunk. She's like clearly at her bottom, and she accidentally hits her boss with with something. And, while he's trying to fire her for being too drunk, and clearly her life is not going the best. So after this, she's forced to move back home with her mother and be back in her town and deal with the problems that she originally ran away from. In her town. So while she's there, she she drives drunk and gets herself some charges. So she gets put on probation. So she's stuck in her town. She's stuck at home. She doesn't have a job. She's really got to figure out what to do. And of course, when you get into any sort of DUI or drug or alcohol related crime, you are forced to, go to AA or any sort of meeting that has to deal with some sort of substance abuse. So while she's in the program, she kind of figures out more about herself and how she's hurt people and how to rebuild her life. And it's done really well. I think a really huge part of adulthood is either knowing someone or being someone who gets put into this position where you have to realize that the people around you are being affected by your actions. And if you're going down a very chaotic path, that they'll try to distance themselves from you, or they won't really understand the source, and they're not going to give you any sort of leeway. They're just gonna get hurt and then disappear. And so this is a good depiction of how someone who's done that kind of damage has to rebuild their life and also rebuild their relationships with people, and how they have to understand that it's not just about them, and that going down this path of abusing drugs or alcohol or whatever in order to null the pain of anything that's going on in your life can affect the people that you know in a kind of negative way. So yeah, I think we always need to be cognizant of the fact that other people have all kinds of things going on, and we should do our best to give them some leeway, give them the benefit of the doubt to understand that. But also, there were a lot of situations here where people were too afraid to really tell her how they felt, or people just kind of gave up on telling her how they felt because they didn't really understand that she was trying to be better, or that Samantha, the main character, didn't even understand that she was hurting people, which was all done really well. The show is a comedy. It has all these deep subjects, and it's a comedy. One thing, all the performances are really good. Everything depicted in the show made sense for this kind of situation. And allegedly season 2 is going to have Molly Ringwald be in there for a little mini Breakfast Club, a Breakfast Club reunion, which also great. And yeah, watch it. It's good. It's on Hulu. It came from Freeform, so all Freeform shows are on Hulu currently. So yeah, give it a shot. It's really good. Okay, extra stuff. While I was watching the show, in the first couple of episodes, I was paying a lot of attention to Sam's outfits, and I don't know, they kept giving off this bisexual energy that I could not it was unexplainable to me. And for some reason I just thought, okay, well, maybe that's just how the actress wanted the character to look, or that's just how she dresses or whatever, and maybe it's just something related to her and nothing else. And then when I finally gave up hope, they hit me with it. They confirmed that Sam likes girls and boys, and they showed it off in a way where it wasn't a big deal, because usually these things are oh my god, they're just gonna talk about the time when she came out and blah blah blah. It's no, it's just no, she just does. She just does, and that's a part of her character. One episode like highlighted that in like a really interesting and nice sense, and then they just got the fuck out of there, which is nice. Speaking of Sam, by the way, her actress Sophia Black Delia. I'm probably not saying that right, but like this actress also played the teacher in Your Honor, which I didn't even notice until like probably towards the end of the show. So, you know, the range. That's interesting. And Your Honor season 2 coming out soon. Garrick Bernard. That man, his portrayal of James was so great that I just really had to like figure out what else he was in, what else he does, like who is this guy? Like, he was just really great. He was charming. He was very down to earth. Everything like about his character was like, you know, he was funny, but in like a very natural way, not like, oh, he's the comic relief character or anything like that. Turns out he's a comedian who has a podcast called Guilty Pleasures, and that podcast is really good. It's a movie review podcast, but it's really nice when, you know, you have a movie review platform or any sort of like podcast or video or whatever, where the people are not just being so cynical and, you know, being like, oh my god, this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Why would this person jump out of a window at this point in time? It's like, they just have fun and they make it fun, and they like remind everyone that movies are fun and you're supposed to have fun with those things. So yeah. Felicia in the show, she's probably one of the most goated characters in the show, mainly because of the episode where Sam has to approach the fact that, you know, this is her friend that she would go out and like drink with, and now she's not drinking anymore, and so their dynamic has to change in some kind of way. So Sam believes that Felicia's gonna, you know, get upset and reject her, but her actual response to all of this was like absolutely amazing, and it's exactly why we should avoid living in our heads when it comes to these types of situations. Like, you never know what someone is going to feel or what they're going to think or what they have been thinking until you actually talk to them yourself, because whatever, you know, situation that you had in your head, it's probably not the same as what reality would be, and you have to be willing to take that leap to, you know, confront them or speak to them or whatever you need to do to get the answers for those important questions. Because, you know, this person, because Sam like just assumed that her friend would not like her anymore because she just thought that you know, their time shrinking together was way more important than the bond that they have as friends. But, you know, Felicia shut that shit down very quickly, and then the rest of the show is just like her being a great friend to this person. So yeah, it's fucking great. Did that say I'm recording for 5 minutes? What the fuck? Okay, yeah, anyways,